anyone out there? Okay, there we go. I need to adjust my exit. That works. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so quick recap. This story is about a character who gets sucked into an alternate world where there's magic and everything is powered by crystals. And they know of the existence of time portals, and so they're on a journey to open one, which takes I guess the magic essence from like all 5 elemental deities. I guess they just saw the fire elemental. She got absorbed, or she gave her power to the hero protagonist guy person, and now he's going to try to manifest power, which is why this line right here, there's a bit of movement, but she takes another step back behind the tree because it's possible that the protagonist may explode if he unleashes this power, which would make this a very short story. I guess this whole magic portal business makes her nervous. It's understandable, since she's not accustomed to magic like Liana or Amelia. Amelia studies the notes and nods to herself and snaps the book shut.
The casting is quite simple. It is the same technique as any other cast. Are you ready?
Amelia glances at my stance and frowns.
Your stance is incorrect. Straighten your spine.
I lengthen my spine and stand as straight as I can.
Now you are too tense. Keep yourself relaxed, but do not slump.
Okay. I release some tension in my back. She's about to speak again, but Liana gently pulls Amelia to the side.
Okay, I think he gets it.
She steps in front of me and gives me an encouraging smile.
Your stance is fine. Just remember to raise your arms in front of you.
I do as she says and she nods.
Now the actual casting part is gonna sound tricky. You'll need to focus your mind on the spell you want to cast.
So I should just think about temporal rifts?
Yes, but you need to connect that thought with the magical energy. Clear your mind of every thought.
I close my eyes and push away all of my doubts and confusion and focus on Liana's voice.
Now, think about the rift that you wish to create.
I Imagine tearing a hole in the fabric of reality. I don't actually know what a rift would look like or feel like. All I remember is the bright light. Should I focus on that light?
At the same time, sense for the magic within you.
Try to sense for any kind of magic, but nothing feels out of the ordinary. How do I know where the magic is? Yeah, how do I know where the magic happens?
It'll feel like a tendril or willing warmth. When you find it, reach out for it and grab hold. The magic is eager to be used and will latch on.
Oh my god, I wish women were more like my magic. Like... so dumb. um... It's so abstract, but I know I can do it. I just have to focus. I turn within and regulate my breathing. It sounds very similar to meditation, so perhaps using the same technique will yield success. As my breathing becomes slow and steady, I open up my senses for any indication of another presence.
Once you find the magic, connect your thoughts of the rift with the magic, and then channel both the magic and the thoughts through your hands to cast it in the open.
I continue sensing, hoping to find even a hint of warmth. But how do I know if it's just my own warmth or the magic? The magic within. We all have the magic within us. Sweat beads on my temples as I strain to cast, but nothing happens. Eventually, my arms grow weary, and my mind is exhausted. I decompress with a sigh. It didn't work.
It's okay, we can try again. People aren't usually able to cast on their first try.
The idea of doing all that again does not thrill me. There must still be something I'm missing.
It just takes some getting used to. Plus, you're trying to cast without a manipulator.
Oh yeah, both you and Amelia used manipulators to cast. Maybe that's why I wasn't able to do it. Yeah, don't make excuses for yourself, you just look
Well,
dumb.
the manipulator's function is to house the energy source for us to cast with. Technically, because you already have the energy within you, you shouldn't need a manipulator.
Oh,
But this is all theory anyway. It may be easier trying to cast using a crystal, especially for a first-time caster.
Regardless, there could be a multitude of factors for why this attempt was not successful. One for which could be as simple as the fact that you still did not possess enough energy to open the rift.
shouldn't the temple have had enough?
Theoretically, perhaps, but a significant portion of the energy was already being used to sustain the elemental's image. She was able to transfer what was left of the energy to you, which from my readings was only 20% of the total energy in the temple when we started.
Wait. What the hell was that pronunciation of theoretically? Okay, she almost said theatrically. Which is weird. Suddenly Kara is standing right beside us, as cheerful as ever.
That sounds like you all still need to explore some more temples.
I jump at the presence. Even Liana and Amelia seem surprised to see her so close. Only Zack is unaffected. How did you get here so fast? She grins.
Am I wrong?
The Pongo jumps out of Kara's arms and hops into mine. Pat him on the head and he wiggles contentedly, licking the hair around me.
So it could be that he doesn't know how to cast, or that he doesn't have enough energy.
Sure, but what does that mean for you all in terms of next steps? Are you going to hang out in Ember Mist until he learns how to cast?
It could take him weeks before he can even cast the simplest of spells. That is quite a long time to rely on someone else's hospitality.
It sounds like it would still be in your best interest to visit at least one more temple just to be sure you have enough energy. You can teach him how to cast on the way, so by the time he gets there, he'll be ready to go.
That does seem like the better option than the alternative.
If it's the fastest way to get me back home, and I'm not opposed to having all our bases covered.
That is the most efficient course of action. If we can mitigate any uncertain factors, then we can pinpoint where the weakness is and adjust accordingly for a successful cast. The research this will provide will be very informative.
Hearing Amelia's affirmation, Zack shrugs.
Since I'm here to protect Amelia, I go where she goes.
Kara smiles proud and slings her arms around Zack and Amelia, much to their dismay.
Great. Then our arrangement is still on.
Hey!
What arrangement?
Most men would be thrilled to have a pretty woman hug them. Right, Amelia?
That is correct. A healthy physique is inherently attractive for potential mates.
Right, let's go and start to lead the way out the forest.
We should spend the night in Ember Mist. We can plan our next steps there.
Follow Kara back to Emmermis. Upon arriving, we head to the inn.
We can spend the night here. I'll meet you back down in the lobby in a few minutes.
She ventures upstairs while we secure 2 rooms with the innkeeper. As we receive our keys, Amelia excuses herself.
I wish to seek an audience with Elder Isum and continue our discussion. I would be remiss to let such an opportunity pass.
He seems like a good guy, but maybe we keep the fact that I'm not from here a secret.
Yes, that is something in which we are in agreement.
Okay. The decor of the inn is very similar to Elder Isum's hut. Almost like they used the same background. Pillows and rugs line the ground as a few people sit cross-legged in front of the fire. A few tables line the other side of the lobby, all of which are empty. In fact, aside from the couple of people chatting by the fire, this place is very empty. Once I sit down, I feel a fatigue pass over me, but I try to shake it off. I guess they don't see too many visitors here.
For a city that's supposed to be so secret, that's not surprising. It's more surprising that they have an inn.
I was just thinking. We sit at the table as Zack orders us dinner. After a few minutes, Kara returns.
Where's Amelia?
She went to speak with Elder Isum. My eyelids droop, and I'm stifling yawns every few minutes. My limbs feel like leaded weights, and it's taking all of my effort to sit upright. After I let out a wide yawn, Liana glances over at me.
Maybe you should go to bed. We're winding down anyway, so it'd be a good idea to get some rest.
That sounds really good right now. I guess absorbing all that energy really takes it out of you, huh?
It would seem so.
Regardless, I'm grateful for the excuse to leave. I trot upstairs and fumble with the key before opening the door. Then I fall onto one of the twin cots and pass out as soon as my head hits the pillow. filters to the window and gently pulls me out of my slumber. Slowly, I push myself up in the bed and glance over to see Zack strapping on his dischargers. He notices me sit up.
Hey,
Hey,
we're meeting downstairs in a few minutes.
hurry. As Zack finishes gathering his things, I begin to get ready to go downstairs. The group gathers down in the lobby. I greet everyone and turn to Amelia. How was your chat with Alderism yesterday?
We had a very productive discussion. In fact, Elderism shared more of his journals with me.
She indicates the scrolls in her arm. Wow, he just gave those to you?
No, these are copies I wrote to bring back with me to the academy.
We stare at Amelia. She spent all night writing those.
That's a lot of dedication.
Regardless, we discussed more on the theory of temporal rifts and the elementals, which has only strengthened my concern that we do not have enough energy.
Then that definitely means we need to seek out another temple.
Do we have a lead on where to go?
Elderism, through his research into the elements, did mention that historically, the Gaians, the people who originally worshipped the Earth Elemental, used to reside in the central woodlands of Assyria. The Kali, the people who worshipped the Wind Elemental, resided in the northern aerial plains. Therefore, it is most logical that the Earth and Wind Temple will be located in those respective regions.
What about the water or shadow temple? She shakes her head.
The Aquarians, those who worshipped the water elemental, depended heavily on the seas. As such, Elderism was unable to pinpoint where the cultural hub of their society might have been. As for Shadow, that is a complete unknown.
If the Earth Temple is somewhere centrally located, then that would be the temple closest to us.
The fastest way back will be to take the crystal rail, so we should return to Bizada.
With our next course of action in place, we finish up at the inn and get ready to depart. Elderism sees us off, much to the delight of Amelia. We retreat back through the forest. Leona stays by my side the whole way through, still unsettled by the forest. Luckily, nothing unfavorable happens, and we quickly make it through. As we return to Posada, I can hear the raucous sounds of the marketplace city long before I see it. We pass through the familiar city gates and return to the early bustle of the city.
Let's pause here and take a moment to restock. There are a few items I'd like to pick up, which may be helpful.
Good idea. Why don't we all make sure we have everything we need, and then meet at the Crystal Rail station?
We all we spend some time browsing through the stalls again. Afterwards, I head over to the station to meet back up with the group. I'm the first to arrive at the station. The car shows up only a few minutes later. As the rest of the team gradually trickles in, car appears at the station.
The end of the line is Stonecrest, so that's where we should go. Once we arrive there, I'll scout around and find our next course of action.
We want to reach as close to Central as possible, so traveling to the end of the Crystal Rail is a good first step.
Once we have assembled all planned together, we purchased our tickets. When I hear you coming up with any plans, kind of bold for this guy to be like, well, that's a semblance of a plan. After the train pulls into the station, we all board and begin our journey. After traveling on the train for 2 days, we finally arrive in the city. I squint at the midday sun and join the others as we quickly disembark the train, grateful for a chance to stretch our legs.
Here we are, Stonecrest.
Kara pulls her arms overhead in a stretch, bursting her chest out. Zack's eyes are immediately drawn to her. She smirks at Zack, who quickly averts his gaze and stares hard at random cobble on the street. The town doesn't differ much from the other towns we've seen so far. It is made up of the same stone buildings and cobblestone paths. People wander in and out of the shops, going about their daily lives. The first thing we do is find and enter the inn. Because of course. Alright, so now that we're here, how do we figure out where to go next?
Just leave it to me. I'll ask around and see if I can come up with anything.
I'll keep my eyes and ears open just in case I hear something too.
You should relax and enjoy the city. I've got some contacts I'm going to reach out to, so I've got this.
Oh, well, if you're sure.
I already have a few ideas and leads based on some of my previous scoutings for temples and hidden relics.
Okay, then let's meet back here in a few hours to regroup.
Works for me.
Now that we have something of a plan, I'll be heading off.
Me too.
Kara and Liana leave while everyone else stares. I don't have anything pressing to do. I wonder if I can help or hang out with someone. Jeez. Well, Amelia didn't have anything to say, so... I look at Amelia, who hasn't moved from her spot at the table. Does she plan on staying here? Amelia looks up at me as I approach her.
Greetings.
Hey. She makes no indication to speak again. Well, what are you doing here?
I am awaiting the rest of our group at our designated meeting point.
Right, but we still have a lot of time before the others are gonna show up.
Yes, I'm well aware of that information.
Don't you want to explore the town?
No.
Easy enough. I continue to stare at her, so she explains.
I do not possess the contacts of Kara to pursue a lead on our next destination, nor are there any familiar channels of leisure for me in the city. The only option available is to reconvene with the rest of the group. Hence, I'm awaiting everyone's return.
Familiar channels of leisure? Is that a way of saying there's nothing fun here? There's got to be something fun to do around here.
From my understanding, there is no library or museum.
Fun is a broad term. Are those the only places you've looked for? She nods. Fun could mean more than just that. Have you tried looking for someplace with games or something? She cocks her head to the side and looks at me curiously. You know, like... I paused to try to think of what type of games would be in this world. Maybe stuff you'd find at a fair? Ring toss, or knife throwing, or whack-a-mole?
Perhaps you were describing a carnival.
Yeah, that's it.
I did not seek out that information, but I believe I may know the location of what you are seeking.
Really? That's great. We should go.
I suppose frequenting an establishment such as that could be considered a form of learning.
That's right. Let's go. Amelia exits the inn and heads confidently out into the streets. I keep up as she turns onto side streets, and before long, she passes in front of an open alley. This is a huge alley. It reminds me of the fairs and carnivals we have back home. People set up their stalls along the sides, but instead of selling wares, they advertise activities. There are stalls offering targets to test your skills, like weapon storing, or stalls which will guess your weight or age. Rude. Amelia glances at me.
Is this what you were suggesting?
I mean, more or less. It is even better than I imagined. Alright, calm down, Spaz. Which one do you want to check out?
I am content to merely observe.
That's no fun, you should try one. Just do something. She doesn't seem to be interested in choosing. I guess that means I'll just have to choose for her. Maybe we should go for something more engaging, like target throwing. Looking around at those stalls, I don't recognize what these options are. There's something with floating circles and something else with bottles. I pause when I see the stall with dischargers. Finally, something I recognize. It shouldn't be too different from the shooting ranges back home. Like, sure. Let's try shooting the dischargers. Amelia gives me a strange look.
An interesting choice.
Her tone suggests this is not something she'd try on her own, but she follows me to the stall anyway. The man behind the counter
Think
grins
you
at us.
have what it takes to win? Hit 3 out of 5 shots to win a prize.
Really?
Perhaps if you attempt it first, I can observe you and then attempt it myself.
Are you trying to tell me that this charger is too difficult for you? Amelia shakes her head dismissively.
Nonsense. Dischargers are merely a simple tool. I, on the other hand, have extensive magic training. This is nothing more than an exercise in coordination. I will attempt it.
That'll be 2 coins, miss.
She pays the coins on the counter and he swaps it out with a discharger.
There are 5 rounds loaded in there. Have at it.
Amelia clutches the discharger and holds it in front of her. She squints one eye as she lines up her aim, and she squeezes the trigger. Bolt of energy shoots out of the barrel, and Amelia lets out a small gasp at the kickback. The shot is wide, and she misses the target. Amelia's eyes are also wide as she studies the discharger with interest.
How curious.
Have you ever shot one of these before?
The opposing force was unanticipated. This time I will be prepared.
She lines up her arm and fires again, anticipating the kickback. She fights to keep her arm straight, but can't stop the slight jerk of the weapon. Again, her shot misses. She frowns and seems surprised at herself, as if she can't believe that she's continuing to miss. She fires again but aims to high and misses, then fires once more and shoots wide. For her final shot, she aims too low and misses again. Her face falls when she realizes she's all out of shots. That's not too bad for our first try. You were close to the target each time.
Not good enough.
Good try, miss. But unfortunately...
Amelia interrupts him by placing more coins on the counter.
I would like another attempt.
I'm surprised by the determination in her voice.
As you wish.
He takes the coins and resets the discharger with more rounds. Amelia fires again and again, but never quite hits the target. She throws on the discharger and raises her bracelet. unusual fire in her eyes. They begin to glow. Hey, what are you doing?
I will hit the target.
You gotta use the discharger.
This discharger is clearly defective and not utilizing the energy properly. I will use my magic to prove it to you.
I have no doubt in your skills casting magic, but shooting the discharger is a new skill. You shouldn't give up. Amelia doesn't react. Are you really going to let a measly little discharger get the best of you? The more you shoot it, the better your aim will be, and you'll be hitting those targets in no time. As she considers my words, her jaw unclenches and she lowers her arm. She picks up the discharger again with new resoluteness. As she lines up the shot, she takes her time before shooting. This time, her shot is much closer to the target. Amelia nods as if confirming something to herself. She shoots again and her shot is even closer to the target. On her last shot, her face hardens as determination sets in. This time she painstakingly lines up her shot and steadies her grip. As she pulls the trigger, she uses her body to help her keep steady from the kickback, and her shot hits the target. Yay. Her eyes light up as she throws her arms in the air and hops up and down with excitement.
I hit it! I hit it!
Oh, how cute.
Did you see?
Turns to me with a big smile on her face as she jumps excitedly. Her big tails bounce along with her and she claps her hands. Yeah, let's celebrate. You jump in and down with her. You were awesome. She looks up at me with a huge grin. Suddenly her face turns red and she freezes. I feel a moment of embarrassment on her face before she resumes her usual blank stare.
I meant it was only a matter of time before I got the correct calculations. Anyway, I shall return in a moment.
She rushes off in a hurry towards the ladies' room, probably to recompose herself. I guess I'll wait here then. She still didn't win that prize though. Maybe I can win it for her. I address the shopkeeper. Hey, I'll give it a go. Cause I'm cool like that, I'm a cool guy. I've done my share of paintballing back home. It should be somewhat similar. I place my coins on the table, and then man hands me a discharger. The first round misses, as I familiar myself with the weapon. My second attempt hits the target, as does my third. Unfortunately, my next attempt misses, as I misjudge my aim. This is it. My aim and fire. Hit it. My aim is true, and I hit the target. Yes, I put down my discharger and pump my fists in the air. Man grins.
Nicely done. Well, here's your prize. Congratulations.
He hands me a pink Pungo plushie. Thanks. Amelia returns and her eyes go wide when she sees my plushie.
How did you acquire this?
It's the prize from the game. She looked at me with surprise and seems impressed.
You attempted the game, and you were successful?
Yep.
I see.
She eyes the discharger booth again. I pull out the plushie. This is for you. She blinks.
But you earned this.
I already have a Pongo. You don't need another one. I place the plushie in her hands. Just check out another stall.
Okay.
I turn around and begin walking, but not before I catch the small smile on Amelia's face as she hugs the plushie close to her. As we wander the stands, I think about Amelia and her magic caster program. Magecaster run. So, I've been wondering, as a student at the Mage Academy, was Zing coming on this adventure with us? Won't coming on this adventure with us affect your studies?
That is not an issue for me, as I do not have classes.
You don't? Oh, then what have you been working on?
My research studies. A significant component to becoming a Magecaster is research study. That is my focus and basis for participating on our travels.
So you just have to document research of a subject area of your choice and you're done?
To put it so plainly does a disservice to the amount of effort involved in formally achieving the status of Magecaster. But ultimately, you are correct.
Sounds a bit like she's working on the equivalent of her dissertation. So if that's it, why haven't you done it already?
It is not so simple. I had taken into consideration furthering the research on temporal rifts and the other parallel worlds. But such an endeavor would have been fruitless without an avenue for further research.
That explains her fascination with Elder Isam and Ember Mist. And then I came along.
Precisely.
Aren't you worried the Mage Academy will come looking for you?
After departing the academy, I did ensure that a notification would reach my professors to inform them that I am currently traveling on a research study. These studies are quite numerous and common amidst my peers.
I see.
Shall we attempt this activity?
Sure. Spend some more trying out the other stalls before we decide to leave. Amelia returns to the inn, but I decide to stay out a little longer. No, I don't. With that done, I think about my next steps. I'm ready to call it. I'm kinda tired and there's nothing here that catches my eye. I head back to the inn and wait for the others to return. The sun is completely set as I step back into the streets. I look up at the night sky. The stars are especially clear tonight as they twinkle amidst the darkness. Amelia and Zack stand outside the inn, staring at something. I can't see their faces too clearly, but Amelia seems pensive. Zack continually glances around. As I approach, I don't notice the uneven cobblestone and miss a step. Luckily, I catch myself before I fall. That was close. I'm thankful the darkness hid my stumble. I don't remember any of the other cities being this dark at night. I follow Amelia's line of sight and notice a darkened lamppost. Maybe the light bulb's gone out. Looking further down the road, I see that the street lamp after this one is lit, but the one after that is dark again.
This is highly unusual.
It seems like every other lamp is out. That can't be a coincidence.
That is the conclusion we came to as well.
I peek inside the nearest lamp.
Do you see a crystal?
I squint as I peer into the darkness. I can't make out any shapes, but I can't tell if it's because it's too dark or there's nothing inside. I think this one might be empty. Zack looks suspicious while Amelia frowns in concern.
Surely the town would not be so negligent in their maintenance and upkeep.
It's a possibility.
It has to be the town's fault. Who else is in charge of things?
Could be corruption in the government. It's not like we haven't seen that before.
Whatever the theory, we should bring this to someone's attention.
That makes sense. Amelia searches our surroundings and spots a guard patrolling in a nearby lane. We quickly approach him. Excuse me,
What is it?
We noticed that half of your lamps are dark. Before I can finish my sentence, the guard sighs wearily.
We just can't replace them fast enough. Every day they keep taking more and more. That's actually what I've been doing now. I'm counting how many need to be replaced tonight.
Wait, are you saying someone's been stealing the crystals?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Sounds crazy, right?
What's the point of that?
Your guess is as good as mine. They're really not worth much.
Have there been any other relevant thefts?
Sure, it's not just lamp crystals that they're stealing. They're stealing pretty much any kind of crystal that they can get their hands on. It's been going on for a few weeks now, and I'm at my wit's end. We've got a reward out for anyone who knows anything, but we've still gotten no leads. Anyways, if you guys see something, let me know. I've got to get started on replacing these crystals before even more get taken.
Me a second, I stand in silence as the guard leaves. I'm not even from here, and I can tell that something really weird is going on. Based on Amelia's expressions, it must be pretty bad.
We should get back.
Yes, we should inform Kara and Leanna.
If we follow Sector again, Aurelion and Kara are waiting and exchange greetings. Any news?
I heard there was someone who could help, but I haven't been able to track him down. I'm sure I'll have an answer tomorrow. Has anyone else noticed how dark it is around here?
Someone has been stealing the lamp crystals. That is what the guard informed us.
Must be some pretty desperate thieves out there.
Why do you say that?
Well, lamp crystals give essentially no return. They don't sell for anything because they're all specifically marked to be easily identified as this type of crystal.
Why does every place we go to seem to be dysfunctional? First Raven Pass, now here? Are there any normal cities around here?
We should look into this. I can't think of any reason why someone would want lamp crystals. And I'd like to know what they're doing with them.
You're right. We should investigate.
Yep.
Really? I'm a bit surprised, but glad to see this side of you. It sounds like the guards could use our help figuring out this mystery.
Yep.
They're offering a reward for any information, aren't they?
Yep.
Leanna says.
I should have guessed.
Regardless, our first plan of action should be to search for any irregularities in energy.
Amelia and I can do a scan of the city to see if anything shows up on the scanner.
We follow as the two of them step outside of the inn and begin to fiddle with their manipulators. They pace the lengths of the streets, but don't seem to trail too far away. Aren't you guys gonna walk the perimeter of the city or something?
There is no need for such inefficiencies when we could just perform a radial scan.
I'm not picking up any energy spikes or unusual readings.
She fiddles with her manipulator again, then turns down a side street. Hey, wait. She pauses again, then looks up.
Very curious. There is energy residue scattered throughout the city, except for one area in the southern corner of town.
Oh, my scan radius doesn't reach that far. So the southern corner has 0 energy readings?
Precisely.
The remaining lamp crystals in the area should at least be giving off a pulse of energy. If even the pulse is missing, then that would indicate the place is completely dark.
We must go in this direction.
Amelia leads the way, following her manipulator. As we continue to walk, the cobblestones underfoot change slightly. They are looser and more uneven than in the heart of the city. The buildings are weathered and spotted with patchwork brickwork. Patchwork brickwork. The alleys feel dimmer here than in the center of town. An even greater majority of the street lamps are dark. The buildings and houses become more spread out as we reach the outskirts of the city. The further we travel, the more rundown the houses become. Crumpled walls from buildings and debris litters the streets. I watch my footing carefully as the dim lighting makes it easy to trip and fall. Like the dunce you are. Are we still in the city?
Technically, yes. We're in the remains of the last battle that occurred in Stonecrest.
Battle?
Around 40 years ago, Void tried to invade this town. While Stonecrest held their ground, there was still significant damage done. This is part of the original city, which hasn't been restored yet.
Amelia pauses in front of a dilapidated house.
This is the area of the irregularity.
The place is quiet. Too quiet. Does anyone even live here?
Probably not, so it could make a good hideout.
Let's go in.
Kara gingerly opens the door, which is falling off its hinges, and steps inside. I tentatively follow her, and the rest of the team trickles in. It looks like this was once a living room with a fireplace and a broken table in the corner. A hallway connects to it and leads into separate rooms.
We should split up and search the rooms.
Never split up. No wait, I've seen enough horror films to know that splitting up is how you die. Slowly.
We can go in groups. It'll be more efficient than if we search together.
It's definitely good to go in groups. If someone is able to use cloaking magic to shield any energy readings, then they're more than your average thief.
No need. I think I found it.
There are some trace over it, and I hear a muffled hollow thump. Then she steps off the rug and stomps again, which reveals a much thicker sound.
I believe we found ourselves a way down.
How did you find that so quickly?
This house is literally falling apart, and there are no other decorations besides this rug. That's pretty suspicious, isn't it?
She gets at the rug, which slides away to reveal discolored wooden panels. A latch nestles into the wood. Sack pulls on the latch, and the door swings upward. We peek inside, and a handful of young faces stare back at us. Their hair is matted, and dirt streaks their cheeks. Once the surprise wears off, they pull back from the entrance and retreat further into the basement. Before going the ladder, Zack jumps into the basement. All cool and hero-like. Kauna follows him down, and like Zack lands lightly and gracefully on her feet. That must be her magic at use. Amelia takes the ladder down, as does Kara, who jumps off when she's closer to the ground. Yeah, jump like a badass, like the hero you're supposed to be. I've always wanted to do this just like in the movies. I leap into the basement and land heavily on my feet. The shock travels up my legs, making me wince, but I manage to stand up straight. Kauna meets my eyes with a questioning look. I'm not entirely sure what that means. means you're an idiot. The rest of the team already has the children cornered beside a glowing pile of crystals. Count 5 of them as they huddle together. Zack stands with his arms crossed, blocking the kids from trying to run. Kara stands beside him, her usual grin replaced with a grim expression. Amelia inspects the crystals while Liana kneels by the kids.
I can confirm that these are the crystals we are looking for.
Where did you get these crystals?
The children look uncomfortably amongst each other.
You don't have to be afraid. I'm a mage knight, see? I'm here to help.
She gives us a smile as she shows them her insignia. Some of the younger kids hang their head, but an older boy straightens up and puts on a defiant scowl.
We didn't do anything wrong. We did exactly what the man said.
What man?
He clenches his jaw and refuses to speak.
Please, let me help you.
As the kids refuse to talk, Liana looks helplessly back at us. Kara gently pulls Liana to her feet and leads her away.
These kids are obviously alone and afraid. They're not going to talk to the guards.
I'm not a guard.
To them, you may as well be.
Kara leans down and addresses the older kid.
You've got a nice pile of crystals there. Are you looking to sell them?
The boy crosses his arms. Kara reaches into her purse and pulls out a coin.
I'd like to buy one off of you.
The younger children stare hungrily at the coin and cast questioning glances at the boy. He eyes the coin longingly, but looks uncertain.
We can't sell it to you.
Why's that?
He quiets down again, but a younger boy pipes up.
He'll get angry if we don't have enough.
The man, well, does he take care of you?
The first boy protectively pushes the younger back.
He gives us money if we can get him crystals.
These kinds of crystals.
Annie, the bigger ones get us more coins, but they're all out of them now.
And that's why you've been taking lamp crystals.
He looks away and Kara
It's okay.
smiles.
I won't tell anyone if you don't.
The boy looks back.
So what does the man want with the crystals?
I don't know. He just wants them. A lot of them.
We should return the lamp crystals to the guard.
The little girl begins to cry.
No! Please don't take them away! The man's coming back soon, and he'll get angry if we don't have them.
Kara leans down and pats the little girl reassuringly.
Don't cry. We won't take the crystals.
You won't?
Nope. We don't want the man to be angry. He could be pretty scary if he's angry, right?
The little girl calms down a bit and nods vigorously. She sips her hand into the little boy's hand and he squeezes reassuringly.
Tell me, when is the man coming?
He comes at the end of the week, so tomorrow evening.
And he meets you here?
He nods. Liana looks back at the rest of us.
We should go.
Kara nods. We're grim as we exit the house and head back towards the inn. Those kids. It's obvious they're orphans. What happened to their parents? Glancing at Kara, she looked equally pensive and disturbed by the children's unfortunate situation.
We'll have to camp out by their hideout tomorrow evening and see when the man shows up. Then follow him and see where he's going and what he's doing with the crystals.
I really can't imagine what he could want with all these crystals.
It is a very perplexing situation.
Well, I suppose there's no dwelling on it now.
What do you think will happen to those kids?
Probably get sent to an orphanage.
I'm a bit surprised they aren't already in one.
They're just trying to survive.
Kara is unusually silent this whole time. Are you okay, Kara? She immediately perks up and flashes a smile.
Of course, just thinking about our next plan of action. I'll be heading out early to see if I can get any more information on where to go next, so I better get some rest.
Rest sounds like a good idea for all of us.
As we reach the inn, we all say our goodnights and head to our respective rooms. Thoughts of the children's situation disturb me, and it takes me a while before I inevitably drift to sleep. Sunlight falls across my eyes, pulling me awake. I stir and stretch widely. That was the best sleep I've had since arriving in Terra. What time is it? I squint and the sun's shining through the window. Seems like it's pretty late. I sit up and the pongo bounces on the foot of the bed enthusiastically.
Boy!
Oh, when did you get in here?
Boy!
He bounces again and rolls over to cuddle against me. Zach has already left the room. I wonder if anyone else is around. Throwing off my blankets, I get ready for the day and head downstairs. There are a few patrons already frequenting the lobby, but no sign of my team. Kara said she was going to get an early start, but I'm not sure where everyone else went. We did say we'd meet back up here this evening, so I guess I'll see them then. I haven't done anything planned today though, so I'm just gonna take it easy. I began walking towards the town square. I follow my feet as it wanders the streets, taking my time, enjoying the bustle of the town. I'd forgotten how relaxing it is to have nothing on the agenda.
Boy!
Eventually we reach the square. There's a statue of a woman in armor, with no plaque explaining who she is. Do you know who she is, Pongo? The Pongo squints at the statue as if studying it, and turns to me with a confused look.
Boy?
I don't know either. A small brown dog, only a little larger than the Pongo, watches us. His tail wags slowly when he catches our attention. Hey, we can pet the dog. Hey dog, are you lost? The dog wags his tail, I extend my hand, and he cautiously approaches. After giving me a few good exploratory sniffs, he barks excitedly. Good boy. His tongue lolls out as I scratch behind his ears. The Pongo bounces angrily. The dog stares at the Pongo as if noticing him for the first time.
Boy!
The Pongo pounds and jumps even higher. The dog cowers and whines. Pongo, what's up with you? Don't be jealous, don't be a bitch. I go to pet the dog, but the Pongo butts my hand away.
Boy!
Are you jealous?
Boy!
I reach out a hand and pet the Pongo, who seems to calm down slightly. The dog perks up as the Pongo relaxes. He wags his tail as he nuzzles the Pongo.
Boy!
The Pongo bristles at the dog's touch and scrambles back.
Boy!
He hops away, but the dog happily chases him. As the dog catches up, he licks the Pongo, who grimaces. Ah, he's playing with you.
Mocha!
The little girl races over to the dog, who barks excitedly at her presence. She throws her arms around him and holds him close as he licks her face.
I thought I lost you.
Suddenly she notices Pongo, and her eyes grow wide.
Oh, you're so cute! What?
She gently pats the Pongo on the head, and its little frown melts into a smile.
Boy. Are you lost too? Boy.
He hops over to me. The girl looks at me over, then she smiles shyly.
Oh, hi.
Hey, is that your dog? She nods.
Thanks for finding him for me. Sometimes he's too fast and I can't catch him.
Well, sounds like a you problem. Mocha sniffs around my feet and nudges my hand to be petted, but the Pongo bounces between us.
Boy!
The girl giggles and waves.
I guess we should be leaving. Bye-bye, little Pongo friend. Thanks for keeping Mocha company.
Bye. Before Mocha can escape again, the girl slips a leash around his collar, and the two of them gradually disappear from view. And that was very pointless. Look down at my Pongo, who looks back up at me. I smile and pat his head affectionately. He squirts happily against me, then hops up into my shoulder and nuzzles my face. How about we continue on that walk together?
Boy!
Together we head further into town. We decide to check out some of the storefronts and streets that I didn't get a chance to see yesterday. The Pongo wanders off when the rig gets too crowded, but Ali seems to find his way back to me. After most of the day has passed, I decide it's time to return to the inn. Hooray. Kauna, Amelia, and Zach are already there waiting. Kauna stands when I arrive.
Here, I got you something.
She passes me a gauntlet similar to the one on her wrist. The sphere inlaid is the same color as Diana's. That must be a wind crystal. Is this a manipulator?
Yeah, I was thinking about your last attempt at casting, and I figured this might be more helpful with future training. Having the manipulator as a focal point of concentration is how Amelia and I learned to cast.
Thanks, although you said that I didn't need one. And brushed it off like I was stupid. And now you got me one. So... that's kind of annoying. Clara finally returns and the attention shifts to her.
The crystal pickup will happen soon. We should start heading over.
Once they complete the exchange, we should follow the guide to see if he leads us to their hideout. He might have other partners, so we should be on guard.
I still can't think of why they'd want these crystals.
Energy crystals have varying utilizations, some of which are outlawed.
Clara seems a bit surprised that Liana doesn't react to that. Thinking about what these outlawed utilizations could be makes me uneasy.
We have our plan. Let's get started.
We trace back to the ruins and find the abandoned house with the children. Instead of entering, we spread out around the perimeter to maximize visibility on anyone approaching. Car and I stay close to the house and hide behind some fallen bricks. Our field of vision is limited, but we're close enough to overhear any conversations that take place inside. After we position ourselves, We wait. We don't know when the man's going to show up, but after about 20 minutes, I start to get fidgety. I wish the kids had given us a time. Who knows how long we'll be stuck out here for. My legs are starting to cramp, but as I shift, Kara shoots me a warning glance, and I force myself to push through it. Finally, a man approaches. He looks to be in his 20s, and surprisingly, wears something that resembles a beanie on his head. Kara yanks my collar, so we duck down. She covers my mouth with her hand and pulls a finger to her lips. Looks like our job is to listen in. The others will be our eyes. I hear a door creak followed by the faint sound of footsteps.
Hey yo, you punks got my crystals or what?
I listen for any extra footsteps, but sounds like the man came solo.
Here.
There's rustling of bag being opened.
What is this? These crystals are weak, yo!
That's all we could find.
Nah, this ain't good, man.
Sorry.
The boy's voice is weak.
Huh.
The bag closes and the man grunts as he lifts it up.
Wait, where are our coins?
You'll get your payment when you deliver, yo. This is only half of what you promised.
There's a silence. I carefully peek out to see the boy straining with his hands clenched.
Fine.
That's what I thought.
The stranger looks the bag over his shoulder. I quickly duck back down as he exits the house. Time to go. I turn to face Kara, who wears a serious frown and has fury in her eyes. I don't think I've ever seen her angry before, let alone this angry. She looks like she's about to rip that guy's head off. Kara?
Did you not see that? We should take him out now.
Don't be stupid. Like, this was your plan. Calm down, he's our only way to finding out who's behind this operation. She glares at me.
Did you not just see what he did? The way he treated those kids is shameful.
I look her straight in the eyes. He'll get his justice soon enough. Ooh, so cool.
Let's hurry up and go.
Yeah. We trail the man out of Stonecrest, making sure to stay behind buildings and keep to the shadows so as not to be spotted. Car slips in and out of the alleys with ease, and it takes a lot of my concentration not to lose her. No wonder she's always sneaking up on us. I assume the rest of our team is also following him, as I'm unable to spot them. That's for the best. The less chance of being noticed, the better. Outside of the city gates, it's a little hard to stay hidden, as it opens out into a more open field. At least since we're spread out, it won't be easy for him to escape if he tries to. We successfully follow him to what looks like an abandoned train car. Wow. There's some kind of dark smoke emitting from the top. The man pauses and we crouch lower behind cover as he looks around. He doesn't spot any of us and enters the train. Kara again puts her finger to her lips and I nod. Staying low, we sneak towards the train. The windows are all blocked off, but we crouch below them anyway. I can hear muffled voices as I gently press my ear against the train.
Yo, Mr. White!
Jesse, how many times do I have to tell you to call me Heisenberg?
Oh wow. I kinda thought with the first one, but wow. The man speaks softly, but his tone is strict and disapproving.
My bad, but I got some crystals.
Oh my god.
Let's see.
There aren't many, and they're pretty small. I don't think we'd be able to get much out of them anyway.
It doesn't matter their size. Once we're done cooking them, they'll be exponentially more effective.
I don't know, man. They're tiny. How does that even work?
It's a simple matter of science.
You serious? You can do something like that?
Indeed.
Yeah, Mr. White. Yeah, science.
Heisenberg.
Oh, right. My bad, yo.
I hear faint clanging of glassware. I wish I could see what they're doing. A sharp snap cracked somewhere from behind me. What was that? I shift out of position to look behind me and see an animal scampering away. As I breathe a sigh of relief, I notice the absence of noise in the train.
What was that?
Before I have a chance to get down, one of the windows swing open, and I'm face to face with both of them. The younger man with a beanie, Jesse, stares at me with wild eyes. The second man is much older, maybe the age of his father, and fixes me with an inscrutable stare. He looks surprisingly normal, not like someone who'd get mixed up with something shady. Almost as if, like, he was a teacher of some sort. Just a normal teacher. Jesse turns around and darts out of the back exit.
Run!
Mr. White joins him as Car and I sprint to the other side of the train. Thankfully, Liana and Zach are already there. I'm gonna point her blade at them.
Surrender and come with us peacefully.
Jesse looks like he's about to bolt, but Zach fixes his discharger on him.
I wouldn't move if I were you.
Crap, what do we do? Why are you laughing at a time like this?
Amelia stands a good distance away, her manipulator is glowing. After looking over the older man, she frowns.
The branding of void.
Quite the observation, young miss.
Wait, what? You're a part of Void?
Mr. White merely smiles.
I didn't sign up for this!
Don't be so naive. You think the crystals were just going to magically create more energy?
Your intent was to perform shadow transmutation on the crystals to create tainted spheres.
Again, he doesn't answer.
It appears confrontation is imminent.
Why don't we even up the odds?
With a flash, Mr. White grabs two shadowy spheres from his belt, similar to the one I saw in Raven Pass. He throws them to the ground, and a dark smog emits, curling in the air. Liana reacts first and blasts her wind magic to dissipate the smoke. In its place are two shadow creatures. Their warped appendages are nothing that I recognize, and their long shadow claws come into a sharp point. It is the stuff of nightmares. He stands between us and Mr. White with Jesse cowering beside him.
Shadow familiars!
This is getting way too crazy for me. I'm out.
Jesse breaks into a sprint and Kara immediately gives chase.
I've got him!
The two of them dash out of sight.
Unfortunately, you've disrupted my work, which means I have to start all over again. So, I'm going to get going.
He channels a spell and starts to run. As he continues to chant the spell, shadows crawl up his legs, threatening to engulf him completely in shadow. We can't let him get away. Liana looks from the man to the familiars.
As much as I want to go after him, our top priority is to defeat these shadow creatures.
Hey, that's your top priority.
Indeed. Shadow familiars this close in proximity to a city can wreak havoc and incite widespread panic.
They would know better than I, and I trust their instincts. I look back at Heisenberg being swallowed by Shadow. As the shadows fade away, he disappears. Couldn't Zack, like, shoot him or something? It's not like he's doing anything now. Zack releases discharges, a small smile on his face.
Sounds like a challenge.
My heart races as I draw my blade. This is getting crazy. Battle monstrosity. Click the icons in the display for. Oh. Crap. Wait. The shell familiar strike me hard, and I fly back. Crashing into the ground, my head slams into the hard ground, and my vision blackens as my consciousness fades. Oops. Um,
He's waking up.
oh, there we go. I was wondering about that. That was getting a little weird. My head bounds. I sit up and groan as my body protests. Liana hovers right over me. While Zack and Amelia look calm.
Thank goodness!
As I stated before, he only lost consciousness and would awaken soon.
What happened? You got rocked, dude.
You got
That's what
bitch
happened.
slapped.
Oh, he said a lot better than I did.
Zack!
He tricks.
You took a nasty hit.
Yeah, got bitch slapped. How long was I out for?
Around 15 minutes.
What about those shadow familiars?
They have been eliminated.
Well, looks like he didn't need me after all. I'm a little embarrassed by how unhelpful I was during that fight, but I'm secretly glad they dealt with it. I'm not sure I'm ready for another hit like that. Now that I've properly looked at them, they seem pretty exhausted. It probably took a lot of effort to defeat these creatures.
Can you walk?
I think so. I push myself unsteadily to my feet.
Hey!
We turn at the sound of Kara's voice. She waves at us with one hand, and she uses the other to drag Jesse back. She plops him down in front of us, and he falls ungracefully to the ground. I see that his hands are bound. Kara stands over him, her face grim.
Now, you're going to tell us exactly what you know.
I don't know jack squat. Mr. White was paying me to get crystals, and that's it, yo!
So you were not an accomplice to the shadow transmutation.
I don't even know what the shadow transportation is!
Transmutation.
Exactly!
It'd be funny if they used a made-up word.
Look, I made a few deliveries to him. The first couple of times he wouldn't tell me what he did, but paid some good coin. But later he said he was going to show me so I could help with his operations. He was going to give solid pay for that too, yo.
I look him up and down. He stares desperately at us, and it's clear to me he's scared. This doesn't seem like the kind of man Void would trust with any kind of responsibilities. I'm inclined to believe he's just looking for some fast coin. Kai seems skeptical. Amelia and Yana seem to have come to the same conclusion I have. Zack crosses his arms.
Better hope the guards believe your story.
Jesse looked like he's about to protest, but sighs instead. I think he realizes there's no chance he's going to escape.
The bag of stolen crystals is in there. He didn't grab it before running out.
Kauna enters the train and returns with a bulking bag.
Let's go turn him into the guards. They'll take it from here.
Zack calls Jesse back to the suite and leads him back towards town. Luckily it's late and night, so very few people walk the street. The few who do give us long stares as we pass. When we arrive at the guard barracks, the person on duty gets to his feet. He looks at Liana in recognition.
Oh, it's you again.
We found the source of your missing crystals.
Zack pushes Jesse forward, and he stumbles into the guard, who grabs a hold of him. The guard eyes him up and down.
It's this guy?
Oh man, it was all 'cause of Void!
The guard stares at him, clearly unconvinced.
Uh-huh. Maybe in lockup you'll have time to think up a better story.
I'm telling you the truth, bitch!
Alright, calm down. The guard frowns and passes Jesse off to another guard, who takes him into the back. Then the guard turns back to us.
Hopefully you won't have any more issues.
The guard grins and looks relieved.
I can't thank you all enough. You have no idea how much of a thorn in my side this has all been. As promised, there's a reward for helping us catch the culprit.
He produces a heavy satchel of gold, which he hands over to us.
Thanks again for all your help, and I hope you have a safe night.
Thanks.
We leave the guardhouse and eagerly divvy up the reward money. As everything settles down, the group decides to return to the inn. I'm glad we got to the bottom of things. I can't help but wonder what will happen to those kids. Oh yeah, let's share the reward. Let's be good people. I'll meet you guys at the end. I think I forgot something. I step away before anyone can ask me any questions and make my way back to those kids. They were dependent on that crystal money to survive, and I can't sit by and do nothing to help them. I know I don't have much to offer, but maybe giving them a cut of my reward can help tide them over. Quietly, I enter the houses not to speak to the children, not to spook the children. As I near the trapdoor, I hear Kara's voice. How'd she get here so fast? And what is she doing here? I mean, what do you think she's doing here, genius? Slowing my steps, I silently creep towards the trapdoor and spy on Kara and the kids.
Here you go, guys. Take this.
She hands me a display of fat coin purse. We must have had the same idea about sharing our reward money. The boy silently accepts it, too shocked by the amount of money to even speak.
The man won't be coming for crystals anymore, so use that to help you find a new way to survive.
The boy nods dumbly. Some of the younger children huddle together, clearly frightened for their futures. Kara smiles reassuringly.
I know it seems scary, but I promise if you stick together, you'll be fine.
The kids hug each other.
I won't let anything happen to anyone.
Good. I know you won't. Take care of yourselves, okay? And stay out of trouble.
Kara turns to leave, and I scramble out of sight. She doesn't notice me as she hurries away. Seems like she's got a soft spot for these kids. I better do what I came here to do and get back before people get too suspicious. Hey kids. I go down into the trap room. The oldest boy looks up at me in surprise. Here. I toss him a small bag of my coins, which he fumbles before catching. He looks genuinely surprised as if he can't believe it's happening.
But why?
If it weren't for you, we wouldn't have caught the bad guys. You kids were a big help.
Really?
He looks at the other children who give him helpful eyes. Then he grins.
Thank you.
I nod. I should be getting back. And once I return to the upstairs, I hear the children scramble below and a series of excited gasps as they inspect the reward money.
Wow, the girl gave us so much!
I've never seen so much money before in my life!
The boy still gave a lot, though. More than we got from crystals.
Whoa, just how much money did Kara give? Was it her whole reward? For a treasure hunter, that seems very generous. Maybe there's more to it. You think? Really? I wonder what it could be as I return to the inn and meet up with the rest of the group. As I enter the inn, Liana looks around.
Where's Kara?
Kara's not back yet, but she left before me. Oh no, I thought she was following everyone back.
I thought so too.
I'm sure she'll be back soon. While we wait for Kara to return, we decide to grab something to eat. With all the excitement going on, we forgot about dinner. We get our orders and settle in. Saki and Liana dig in. Amelia, on the other hand, is quiet as she stares at her plate. Is she okay? Amelia? She looks up at me.
Yes?
Something wrong? She shakes her head.
No. I was pondering about the lab at the Void Hideout, which was used to perform shadow transmutations.
What exactly is that? I've been meaning to ask, what is this shadow transmutation you were talking about earlier?
It is the process in which shadow energy is merged with a crystal containing another form of elemental energy. This fusion causes an overwhelming surge of energy to spawn, which consequently destabilizes the crystal and causes the shadow energy to become uncontrollable and very dangerous.
This is what we refer to as a tainted sphere, like the one the treasurer used in Raven Pass, and what was used to summon the shadow familiars.
It didn't seem uncontrollable when they used it, though.
Perhaps not those times. However, as it is destabilized sphere, the energy is unpredictable. It's possible it will cast properly, but equally possible it will implode upon itself at any time, which would be fatal to the mage in possession of it.
Well, that just seems like a silly, unnecessary risk.
That's a best-case scenario. Imagine if one of those crystals went off and spawned a shadow familiar in the middle of town.
That would definitely be bad.
That's why shadow transmutation has been outlawed. even before the Treaty of Asaria.
I thought you said all use of shadow magic was banned.
Yes, but there were legitimate users of shadow magic before the war.
You lost me.
Shadow magic is not innately harmful. It was originally used in non-destructive ways, just like any other element. That being said, a group of practitioners abused the usage of shadow magic, which revealed just how dangerous it can be when used in such a manner. That is what caused the eventual war in Assyria and the subsequent banning of shadow magic.
And that group was Void?
Correct.
Things are starting to make a little more sense. No, they're not. I'm still not sure I understand it all.
It's just a little troublesome to think that there was someone performing shadow transmutation just on the outskirts of Stonecrest, and with a lot of crystals too.
Even though Void was defeated, it wasn't completely wiped out, and their remaining members have just been laying low.
Mia and Yellen not. The conversation lulls as we think about what was said. We finished the rest of our food in silence. By the time we finished up our meals, Kara returned.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late. I met up with my contact and he came through. He said that there's some adventurer who's been talking about one of those high concentrations of energy. He's at Hearth Point right now, but probably won't be staying for too long. We should head there in the morning and see what he knows.
What's the guy's name?
Arton Hunt.
Zack shrugs. I guess he doesn't know.
It might sound like just a rumor, but there's always a grain of truth in a rumor. At the very least, we should be able to get a clue or two.
Okay, tomorrow we'll head for Hearth Point.
Amina nods and I yawn lightly. Tonight though, I'm ready for bed. The team members their agreement and we all turn in early. It's been a long day and that fight really took it out of me. After getting ready, I climb into bed and immediately fall into a deep sleep. The next morning, I wake up with a wide yawn. My body aches from the fight, but otherwise, I feel very rested. I gather my things and meet the group downstairs for a quick breakfast. Then we begin our journey to the Hearth Point. After traveling all morning, we decide to stop and rest for a while. The sun shines overhead in the sky and there's a soft breeze to balance out the warmth of the day. Zack claims a spot in the shade of a tree where he cleans out his dischargers and Amelia and Kara rummage through the packs to pass around water. Liana approaches me.
Since we're taking a break, would you be up for some magic training? We can go into the clearing so you aren't just out on the open road.
Let's do it. I know, the faster I learn to cast, the faster I can go home. There's no point in putting this off. Let's do it. Anna smiles. I follow her to a little alcove off of the path. We're far enough that Precious Spy won't get a good view of me, but not far enough that we lose sight of the rest of the team.
The actual process is a bit tricky. You have to channel the energy out of the crystal, then concentrate on the process of shaping it, refining the energy into something you can use. So to do that, you need to concentrate on the crystal's form, and use your mind to alter it.
I'm not sure I got all that.
Okay, you have a manipulator now, so instead of trying to channel the energy from stored within you, try to concentrate on channeling through the manipulator.
I look down at the manipulator on my wrist. Alright, so I can channel the energy from the crystal.
Exactly! Like this.
Leona holds out her manipulator. It pulses softly with a blue light, and then a small burst of wind erupts from the manipulator. Okay, I'll give it a go. I stare hard at my manipulator, trying to focus on the energy of the crystal. I scrunch up my face in concentration, but nothing seems to work.
Just concentrate on the energy. Let go of your distractions.
Let go of my distractions. I try to clear my mind, but all I can think about is how nothing seems to be happening. It's not working.
That's okay. Keep trying. It's always hardest your first time.
I think for Juliana's explanation again. Is there something I've missed? Trying again, I concentrate, focusing on the energy. But nothing happens. This isn't working.
Don't give up. Try again. Just focus on that energy and use the manipulator to channel it.
I know you've said that before, but it doesn't make sense to me. Anna runs her hand through her hair as she frowns.
I don't know how else to put it. Once you get it, you'll know. You just have to keep concentrating and trying.
That's really not helpful. I take a deep breath to calm myself down. It's not Liana's fault, and she's being very patient. It's just me? Why am I not getting it? Again, this isn't working. I'm just not getting it, and it's frustrating. This is hopeless.
It just takes practice.
I can tell Liana wants to stay positive, but her words feel flat. It's taking a toll on her too. I don't know what else to do. She frowns as she thinks, then shakes her head with a sigh.
How about we take a break for now? Maybe if you have a chance to think about it a little more, you'll have more success next time.
I half-heartedly shrug. Sure. Whatever. I try to keep the skepticism out of my voice, but Liana seems just as skeptical as we return to the group. Zach and Amelia are ready for us when we get back, after I have a chance to rehydrate and grab a quick bite to eat. We continue on our way. The rest of our journey goes far more smoothly than my training. As the sun dips low in the sky, we decide to rest for the night. After securing a well-covered area, we get to work setting up camp. Leona disappears to gather firewood, while Zach rummages through supplies prepping for dinner. Kara secures our perimeter. I roll out my sleeping roll, and Amelia does the same. As she sets down her things, the Pongo plushie from before falls onto the grass. Amelia carefully rights it, then continues to unpack. The Pongo jiggles up to the plushie and greets it excitedly.
Boy!
The plushie makes no reaction, but the Pongo is undeterred.
Boy!
Again, the plushie doesn't respond. The Pongo deflates and his face falls. Amelia furrows her brow, then subtly touches her manipulator. The Pongo plushie suddenly pops to life as a thin layer of water pulls underneath. Amelia tries not to move her lips.
Boy.
The Pongo's eyes grow wide and he beams.
Boy.
plushie bobs again, and the pongo squishes against it as if in a hug. Amelia cracks a small smile which disappears when she meets my gaze. She clears her throat and returns to fiddling with her things. She's a softie. My heart warms as I watch her. She's not as cold as she would have people believe. Hurry. I go help Leona find more kindle. When we return with the firewood, we get a fire started. Zach pulls out a simple pot and a few basic ingredients. Then he gets to work. Soon the fragrance of cooked meat makes my mouth water. Kara wanders over to the fire.
That smells amazing! What is it?
She reaches for one of the skewers, but Zach's expression makes her pause.
It's not done yet. After some time, a very appetizing aroma fills the air. Zach removes the skewers from the fire and scoops the porridge into bowls. All right, it's done.
He hands a bowl to each of us and slows down as we dig in. I bite into the juicy meat and let the taste linger on my tongue. It's smoky and tender, a perfect barbecue. Kara savors the bite.
Oh, I didn't know camp food could taste this good.
It's nothing special.
We've been doing this all wrong. No more rotating cooking duty. I vote we have Zach cook for us every night.
Zach turns his head away and lets his hair fall over his face.
You don't have to make a big deal out of this.
Don't give up. Kara smirks. Her gaze lingers on Zach, but he doesn't notice.
I wonder what other talents you're hiding. It's okay, I'll find them all out sooner or later.
Oh, alright. Zach doesn't respond, but begins to gather the empty bowls.
Seriously though, nobody's cooking can compare. Especially not mine.
Zach pauses.
I enjoyed it.
Carving.
Really?
He offers a short nap.
It's not bad.
Ouch. Zach looks up and meets her gaze. Kara's grin widens, and a small blush creeps into her cheeks. I quietly slip away and go sit down at the edge of the campsite. Liana sits down beside me with a small smile. I feel her hesitate before she speaks.
So, magic training today.
Yeah,
I know today wasn't quite what you expected, but after more practice you'll get it.
I don't know about that. I know she's trying to be encouraging, but this is really the last thing I want to talk about. The thought of having to go through that again fills me with dread. So been there. When do you think the next practice should be?
Honestly, every day.
I swallow the ground that threatens to come out, but I can't hold back my dismay. Every day? Liana forces a smile.
Casting is not easy, and it really takes as much practice as possible. With us traveling to the next temple, this is the best way to get you to learn quickly.
She looks away and I see her smile drop. Leona's clearly as excited about this as I am, but she's trying hard to pretend like that's not the case. I can respect that and appreciate that she's trying. Well, then I hope next time will be more productive than this time. Leona tries to sound more chipper than she is.
Like I said, nobody can cast their first time. It's something I had to work on for weeks before I was able to even manipulate a light breeze.
Yeah, because you were like 11. Sure, you may have struggled, but you were probably like 10 years younger than I am now learning how to cast.
Does that matter?
When you're trying to learn something as an adult, it's much harder. Like adults trying to learn a new language compared with a kid. Leona looks thoughtful.
That's true, but learning something new will require effort, no matter how old you are.
Yeah, to learn a new skill does take practice. Leona looks up at the sky.
We should probably get some rest. It's another early start tomorrow.
As Leona says that, I feel a yawn coming on. That sounds like a good idea. The others are winding down to Zach's stays up to take the first watch. As Leona heads over to her bedroll, I crawl into mine and try to ignore the hardness of the ground. Eventually, I fall asleep. And so that will be the end of the stream. I think that's a good place to end it for tonight. With this nice jaunty music to see us out on. So yeah, if you enjoyed what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow, and share the stream, hit the bell for notifications, and I'm on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube while I brew streams. Check my Twitch schedule to see when I'll be streaming, and check my Twitter for any last minute changes. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, thanks for supporting, and hope you enjoyed the stream, and hope to see you at the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye!